Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. This is AP Media. So today I want to do a quick breakdown on this design that I made. Okay, it's going to be, excuse me, I'll try as much as possible to keep this quick and short as much as possible. So this is the design. I'll be doing a breakdown, their review, some of the things I did and why I did some of the things that I did. So this is the design. It's a square dimension. Okay, so I can either use 1080 by 1080. Okay, I think I use 1080 by 1080 pixels here from the bottom here, and then I use 500 ppi. Yes, this was just me exploring. I wanted to blow up the design. Although it's a digital design, this is not going to be printed, and it's advisable to use 150 for online works most of the time. 150, then 300 for print. But sometimes, because of some of the elements in my design, I may decide to increase the number of my pixels to give it that sharp quality. Okay, so without further ado, let's check through the layers. Okay, so this is everything in the layer. Yes, so the layer is not much. Okay, I think I have one group here. Let me open the group. The group is still not much. Okay, so from the fonts that I used, from everything. Now let me turn off all the layers. Okay, let me turn off all the layers. So I'll explain from the background upwards. Okay, so basically it's most preferable to design your backgrounds first. Okay, yeah, so this was my first background. I got this image from Pinterest. So if you can see, it just has some rough numbers here. So this background was already made by someone. I don't know, someone just made the background already on Pinterest. But it's something simple that you can do. Just place a Bible here and somebody praying. But the theme was what? Greater works. Yeah, so greater works maybe in word study and in prayers. All right. The Bible talks about laboring in prayers. Okay, so when I saw this, it tried to interpret the idea of greater works for me with Bible and prayer. So I said, okay, let me keep this aside. So I wanted to work with this, but it wasn't flowing well. And okay, so I just left that aside and I got this other one. Okay, so I think I added some effect on this particular one. So this one also, I got it from Pinterest. Excuse me. Got this one also from Pinterest. Yeah, same concept. Let me open the smart object and see. Yeah, this is how the image is originally. Okay, so I just opened the smart object. It's a portrait image, so it has hand in hand of prayer, Bible, and the cross. Okay, so it still relates to the same thing. Greater works in prayers, in Bible study, and then having the mind of Christ on the cross. All right, so it still cycles rally around the image. So this I just got this image after searching a whole lot of images. So I got this one and it interprets the idea, but then this image is quite blurry. Yes, I don't it's not of high quality, it's quite blurry. So I had to do a simple effect on this particular image. So that was what I did. I It was blurry, so I added Gaussian blur to this image. So the Gaussian blur effect I added to it would distract the poor quality of the image. Okay, the Gaussian blur effect I added would distract the what the poor quality of the image. So when I added this was it without the Gaussian blur. Look at, and then with the Gaussian blur. So before, after. So it just distracts the poor quality for me, and that was that. Okay, so this one, group one copy. Now I did group one before the copy, so let's look at group one. Group one was greater works. So let me lock this layer. I like locking my layer so that when I want to click around, it will not be dragging up and down. Control Z, Command Z. Okay, Command Shift Z to redo. So I let me lock this layer. So this is my background layer. Now you can name it if you want, but this is a quick one, so I don't want to go into that. So I did this GreaterWorks. This font is called, let's see. Yeah, this is the name of this font. Beach STD. Okay, and a quick disclaimer, this is not how the font looks originally, in case you can download it and say your own is not like that. So let me show you how the font is originally. So I did, let's see, Greater. Okay, why is it not showing? Yeah. So this is how the font is originally, but if you see my own is a little bit compressed. Now, in design, we have a rule that you don't, when you want to transform an element, most times a font, you should drag like this. Okay, you should drag like this, and this one is even on the updated version of Photoshop. Before, if you drag from this place, it's going to give you something like this. Okay, and we don't do something like this, but now either you drag from here, you drag from anywhere, it's going to transform it uniformly for you. So that is to say, we are supposed to transform elements uniformly. Okay, but then when I looked at this font, it was nice, it was okay for me to use, but it's a little bit thin. It's a little bit thin for me, and I wanted it to be like the catch point of the design. So I had to break that rule of not having to of transformation, that rule of transformation. So I held down Shift and then I transformed like this, and I also did like this. Okay, but as a rule, we don't do this in design. We don't do this in design, but sometimes rules are meant to be broken. Sometimes. So this is not what I do every time, but sometimes you just have to bend the rules to suit what we want to do, the vision of what we want to do. All right, so let me delete this. So that was how I was able to get this. So this, and then Works, I did the same thing for Works. You can see that. Then I grouped two of them, GreaterWorks. I grouped two of them, and then I did Ctrl+E. Right, Ctrl+E is going to merge them. So let me go back. So that was why I have this particular one here. Group 1, copy. Now it's like this. Let me show you what is inside. Let me remove the background. Oh, okay. Let me place a black background so that we'll see what is inside there. Rectangular 2. Let me just draw a black stuff at the back. Yes. So this is what is showing at the back. Okay. When I duplicated it here, I added the color to it. I changed the color from this color to white, and then I added motion blur from filter, motion blur. Where is it? Motion blur. So, and then you can see this 90%, and then this one is set to 90%. That is, the angle is set to 90% straight. Excuse me. And then the distance of the blurriness, you can decide to. So I just wanted to create that effect at the back. That is that lighty kind of effect at the back. So that was what I did at the back of that, and then I collapsed this. I usually like to collapse my effect. It keeps my layers organized for me. Right, so let me delete the black shape at the back and bring back the background. So that was how I had this and this. Then the month of August 2025. Now, the font I used here was Metropolis, right? Yes, Metropolis. But I did month. Now I used the typeface is Metropolis, but the font for here for day was regular, month was semi-bold, off was regular, and August was semi-bold. This is regular. So I just created that contrast between the text. So you can see month August, the day of 2025. So you just breaks the visual hierarchy for you to easily see. I want you to easily see month, then I want you to easily see August. Although you still see 2025, you still see off, but the catchy stuff on this design is the August and the month, right? So that was why I created that. Okay, then from Bishop Olukayode Ajibade, is my pastor's name. Yeah, this was not, I didn't do this in the order that we are seeing it. Okay, the layer just, because sometimes you send some elements to front, you send others to back, so it will not just make sense for me to just greater works then from. Okay, so I didn't do this particular one in this order, in this chronological order. You know, the Bible, somebody said that the Bible was not written in chronological orders. Right, the Bible was not written in chronological order. If not, the book of Job would have come before Genesis. All right, if I'm correct on that. So I didn't do this design in this chronological order that we are seeing it here. Okay, now so that is that. Then I like adding this light effect on my designs. So these are the light effects looks like. If you've been following me for a while, I might have explained this one way or the other. So this is the image. It's like this. All right, so what I did was to change the blend mode from here to screen, and then it hides the black and gave me the lighter effect, the lighter part of it. So I have something like, so I kept one here. Let me undo so that I will see where the exact place that I kept. So I kept one here and I kept the other one here. Normal. So normal. So this is how I placed the two light effects, but I changed the blend mode to screen. Can you screen or lighting sometimes, or color dodge? Yeah, but screen has that seamless transition, so it will just hide the black part. And then this is why I did this, was to make the text interactive rather, right? I want to, if you just place this is okay, but it does not blend very well with the background, right? It did not really blend well with the background. So I did this, and take note, this cross here has the yellow and sun kind of reflection on it, like an evening sun or stuff. So that was what sponsored this idea. And by the way, you can download this light effect from Freepik, from Pinterest, or just search light flares online, and then you see something like this. Then okay, I did this, and like I said, I didn't do this in chronological order. Now let's look at this. This is the text for the theme. Let me log this to light. So this is the text for the theme. So I wrote 1 John 5:20. This is it. John 5:20, John 14:12. So this is that. Then I drew a shape, a rectangular shape. So this is what we have here. So the shape does not have a fill. The stroke is red, and then 1.66. So I added some layer marks on it. Okay, and I even reduced the opacity. Let me bring it to 100%. So this is how the shape is. Right, I wanted to create that effect around this, but then this does not really make sense. So I wanted it to be fainted in the background. You can slightly see it, but so that it doesn't distract you. Okay, so I had to reduce the opacity to 20%. So by just pressing 2 on your keyboard, you can reduce the opacity to 20%. Press 5, 50. I think I tested a number of them, but 20 was okay for me. And I made it very thin so that it will not be very, very, distracting. Like I said, for example, this is 1.66. If it's 10 now, see, you have something like this. This can be how do I call it? This can be distracting. All right, this can be distracting. So this 1.66 with this opacity of 20% makes it less distracting. And then I think I was almost done with the design. Now let me bring this Yeah, why I took this one front was because of one effect I did. I will explain that later. So this was not here before. Like the position of these two texts, right? It was supposed to be here. It was supposed to be around here, but I think after I added this effect, okay, let's look at the effect. This is the effect. After I added this effect, it was on top of it, and it was still distracting the text. Look at, if you see some part of here, it was distracting some parts here, so I had to just send this one ahead. All right, so let's close this. I'll talk about that one. I added this one. This one, color field one, is one texture, grunge texture effect I usually do at the end of my designs. Okay, so you just create an adjustment layer, solid color, give it gray, all right, or ash. Then I like to delete this. This is my layer mask. I like to delete the layer mask. This is just to help me keep the layers simple, because I will not be needing that layer mask, so I just deleted it. Then come to filter, excuse me, noise. All right, noise, add noise. So you can convert to smart object. When you convert to smart object, you can still edit this color. You can take it to any color you want, but I don't need to edit this color again, so I just rasterize and bond the layer. So this was, I used 296.55. This is not an exact figure, or it's not a standard figure. You can use any figure of your choice. So you can look at this. So you can decide to push it completely, but completely, I don't like to do 100% sometimes. All right, so I like to do 98, 97, but for this, so I don't like doing 100% sometimes. It's just personal discretion. Okay, so that is just by the way. And make sure it's on uniform, and leave this one out. So it's like black and white. This one turn it to black and white, monochromatic, monochrome. All right, so just turn this off, so you can still have dark colored stuff around. So just click OK. Then change the blend mode to what? Color dodge. Yes, color dodge. Then this looks very, very, very distracting. What are we going to do? We'll reduce the opacity. So test is 80. This is 50. It's too much. This is 20. It's too much. This is 10. It's still too much. Okay, so I just tested around and I came to use 3. Look at this. This is the one I used. 3%. Look at this one, 10%. So let me delete this one. See color field 2. So let me delete that. So I settled for 3% opacity, color dodge, blend mode. Then this was the last effect. This was the game changer effect on this design. Let me bring this to normal. So this was the image. I think I downloaded this image from Freepik. All right, I downloaded this image of Freepik. So this was the image, like a light flare kind of image. Okay, so I changed it. I just searched around. Normally I would have used screen. Okay, but then screen is busy. But screen has distracted us from reading the greater work. So screen for this is busy. I mean, lighting is still busy. So sometimes we just have to test through all of these all of these blending options to know blending modes, to know the one that works best. Okay, so I just tested normal, dissolve, darken, multiply. So I just tested a lot of them, and when I came to overlay and soft light, I could not leave. Right, so let's just go down. None of them is working. So it seems overlay and soft light is going to work for me. But now why I chose overlay was because overlay gave me, look at overlay gave me that rich reddish color, and then it pops the design more. Then soft light did, but the saturation on soft light is quite dull. Okay, the saturation on soft light is quite dull, so I needed more saturation. So that was why I settled for overlay, and that was that. So I used overlay, and I did not even have to reduce the opacity because this is very, very balanced for me. So I left the opacity at 100%, blending mode, uh, blending mode overlay. Okay, so let me bring this down. If this were to be under this, like I said earlier, it's going to be distracting on some of this text. So I had to carry the text layer. Look at this text layer. I had to carry it and bring it to the front of the design. Okay, so if you follow this video to this extent, please do me a favor, like this video and please subscribe to my channel. Right, this helps the YouTube algorithm to suggest the videos to more people. Okay, so please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and please share this video amongst graphic designers. Share this video to your church media departments. They can learn a thing or two from this. Okay, so that was basically everything I did for this design, and yeah, and I exported the design, and the design was sent out. The design was approved and was sent out. All right, so this is AP Media. I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. If you find this very helpful, please like this video, share this video, and I'll see you on the next one.